Shocking claim: free energy that could stop climate change was invented, then covered up. This is off the Express. Exclusive: scientists have invented a no-cost, pollution-free, unlimited energy source that could power the planet and prevent climate change. But its existence is being covered up and is shockingly been claimed. See what these people do, how to discredit this shit? We got a video I'm going to play here in a little bit. Another epic trailer. Let me tell you, this is freaking epic. Of course, this is basically what I've been saying to a lot of YouTube commenters that are commenting on my videos about the whole climate change. And I see points on both sides of the arguments, but I'm just pissed off at there's no solutions about it. I'll get into that in a little bit, but let's get into this article. Free energy suppression is taking place to ensure world leaders can still profit from global trade in fossil fuels. And this is what I've been saying for quite a while. This stuff exists, but of course, you got governments and other fossil fuel industries make sure that they never surface because billions are made through this. And that's, I know, something that we can all agree on. And they say here, it also suggests that the world capitalist system would collapse if the people were able to generate power and free electricity. And you got to see, and I've said this before, that you release the free technology, there's no more reason to have a dollar, if you will, or money, monetary, any of that. Because that stuff is like, okay, you know, first you get the energy systems, and then it's just going to start snowballing, and then you're going to get all this other technology that's going to come out. So it's great future, but it's just being held back, and it's being a pain in the ass. Now this is pretty good right here. It further alleges that equipment does exist which can extract usable power from unconventional energy reservoirs, such as the quantum vacuum zero-point energy. We were talking about this in an earlier episode of Talk is Cheap. Nassim Haramein, he calls it the vacuum. That's the particle which is like everything. Everything is connected with the vacuum. It's what they call the dead space. For little to no cost, but that anyone trying to possess the systems has been silenced or even killed before the power sources were launched. Oh, and we've seen this all the time. All these Nikola Tesla projects get shut down. All these other people that file for patents because they want to make some profit on their new invention, they get shut down. The Who Killed the Electric Car documentary. Now that obviously that's not free energy, but it was so good. Like they had like 20 of these things. I watched a documentary a few years ago. It was brought to my attention by a coworker of mine, and they pulled those vehicles from them and trashed them to make sure that stuff wouldn't get out. And it's like, are you kidding me? We could have had this stuff. And this was back, what was it, in the 1990s, if my memory serves correctly. And of course, this article states that, yes, people claim has been provided by alien visitors to Earth, or that scientists have reverse engineered UFOs. Yes, of course. Where else? You know, this stuff, it's been out for so fucking long. It's ridiculous. And then, of course, they're poo-pooing it, saying, oh, if it gets into foreign hands, the U.S. is terrified that, oh, they could use it against us. Well, yeah, you know what? Sure, maybe. But if we get rid of the poverty in all these countries, I mean, shit. I don't think we'd really be fighting over anything. Let's watch this epic trailer. I'm going to comment through it, but this is another good video. If you've seen the documentary Sirius, that was pretty good. So this is basically kind of another spin-off. It's called Unacknowledged. And if there's one thing I'm kind of getting sick of, it's like, you know, that's all we're seeming to get is all these documentaries about all this stuff that's covered up, you know, and it's just getting repetitive. Everybody makes a documentary and that's the end of it, you know, and it's like, you know, we're ready to see some substance here. But let's just go ahead and take a look at this trailer, and I'll comment a little ways through it.
How do you keep something secret? You hide it in plain sight.
Famous
There were
press
bodies
conference.
that were involved with some of these crashes, also some were alive.
I said, well, you're going to tell the public about it. And he says, no, we don't tell the public about this. It would panic the public.
Oh, it panicked the public. Oh, no.
And you know, there's a new name. It's unexplained
And people say Hillary
aerial
would have released this.
phenomenon.
No, she wouldn't have.
I'm
Should
a
give a
doctor
shit
in
less.
the ER, taking care of shootings and stabbings and car wrecks. And I'm being asked to brief the CIA director on stuff because he and the president are being lied to? What?
And he said, by the way, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon. And I said, whose?
If the average person knew that the term UFO was actually concocted after they knew that they were extraterrestrial vehicles or man-made anti-gravity devices, they would realize that for 60 years, we've already had the solution to the environmental crisis, the energy crisis, and global poverty.
Right there, solution. We had the solution already. This stuff has been out there for over 60 years. So we're talking like 1957, pre that even. And it's like, oh, we're going to sit here and like tax everybody to death. I'm going to get into this after I finish this up, but the carbon taxes are a big fucking joke. And if do you think that's going to help? Give me a break. I'll get into that later. Before you criticize me, I'll get into it later, but let's go farther into this. By the way, Stephen Greer, that's all he's been doing is briefing people. He briefed Bill Clinton when he was president. He briefed Bush when he was president. And then he briefed Barack Obama. What the hell? Nothing's going on. It's like, why is he briefing these people for them just to sit there and be like, okay, we're not going to disclose this just because all these people that are in our pockets, that's the problem with politicians. They get bought off and then they don't disclose it. Back to the trailer.
The most dangerous thing going on the planet today isn't ISIS. It's not Iraq. It's not Russia. It's not China. It's a out-of-control, covert group that is not being overseen by the people, the Congress, or the president, who have developed these technologies and are recklessly using them to track and target extraterrestrial vehicles.
Pretty good footage.
The result of this is that we're in a crisis that is unacknowledged, ironically, because these projects are unacknowledged.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat.
Again, if it's unacknowledged, it doesn't exist, right? What project? It doesn't exist, so we're not going to talk about it.
From outside this world.
There is no threat, and we have to prevent the weaponization of space.
So either they don't exist, but if they are, they're a threat. So this is the 1-2 punch that's been going on, unfortunately, for 60-some years. He said, do you know why they killed Marilyn?
Mr. President, the late Marilyn Monroe.
And I said, well, I didn't until I got this document. It's a virtual death warrant.
When they found out that Tesla had passed away, they came in, they had the manager of the hotel open the safe, and they took all of Tesla's papers.
Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, that's an urban myth.
Take all of Tesla's stuff. Think about the stuff we could have. Tesla had stuff invented where we had free electricity back then. Free energy where you could just put a rod in the ground and you'd have it. It would go through the Earth's system. However that worked. I'm not a scientist myself, but he had it figured out. And now it's like, oh, take that stuff away, and this stuff's been around for so freaking long.
Or conspiracy theory. I say, like the hell it is.
It's a conspiracy theory. Yep, that's just a brainwashing term to discredit everything. I'm so sick of it. But this trailer's epic, and it looks like it's good, but like I said, you just kind of start getting sick of having this documentary after documentary and nothing, going on.
This is like a bad, conspiracy novel, except this became my life.
So it looks good on the surface for sure. Trailers are meant to look epic. I know that. I don't agree with Stephen Greer on everything. I mean, he's doing fantastic work of getting the stuff out there. He woke me up in watching the 2001 press club that he did, because that was so epic. It's like, okay, you see those people up there and it's like, holy shit, they're coming out and saying, I did alien recovery, I did all this. Sergeant Clifford Stone, who did the alien recovery, it's like, holy crap. And all these people swearing that they would swear to Congress on the Bible, what they seen. You know, you just can't make that shit up. I don't agree with him on him saying that all aliens are good. There's good and bad, and it's to what degree, and it depends on perspective. You know, there's good and bad humans to, you know, what perspective. Some people got different agendas, and, you know, you just got to take it with how that goes. Now, diving into this article now a little bit more, climate change summits where the world leaders try to agree ways of reducing carbon emissions. It's all about reducing, bring us back to poverty, bring us back to a third world country. It's not about solutions. We don't have proper solutions. And it is bullshit because as they already have the technology to stop global warming in its tracks. It's like people, and then I get so pissed off because people say, climate change is a big issue. Fine, if it's a big issue, let's have some solutions. What's their solution? They want a carbon tax. And the whole point of having that carbon tax is to reduce the carbon emissions, right? Get people to drive less. Okay, so now you're kind of bringing yourself to, you're going to be restricted now. You're going to be home more, because the whole point of the carbon tax is, okay, you're going to raise prices on the gas. So what is that going to do? It's supposed to reduce travel. So you reduce travel, people stay home, prices of goods are going to go up, and you're going to have, coal plants shutting down. If you shut the coal plants down, then what? It's going to raise the price of electricity. Then what's going to happen? You're going to have random power outages, which this stuff happens in Cuba. I got an article here, this Havana Times, are routine power cuts back in Cuba, where they randomly turn off the power because there is not enough to go around. And now if you keep having these, we got to fight this climate change stuff. Oh no. Is reducing ourselves back to a third world country the way to go? Hell no. We need to release the technologies, these free energy technologies, and go from there. You don't go back in civilization. We go forward as a civilization. Think about it. Also, the same group that wants these carbon taxes want that minimum wage increase. How the hell is a minimum wage increase going to help when you got a carbon tax? It's going to do the opposite. And it's actually going to keep things level where they are now. Because if you increase the minimum wage to 15 or whatever, and that comes with a whole bag of different things that are going to knock price of goods and everything else down. If you increase that minimum wage, it's going to defeat the whole purpose of even having the carbon tax, because now you're making more money. So let's just keep it simple. You're making more money, but they increased the gas, or they're taxed gas more because of the carbon emissions. So now you're going to drive the same as you are right now, because you're making more money, but the gas went up. So it's basically you're at an even level again. So what the hell? It didn't do anything. So people want they think, I just get pissed off when this whole climate thing gets blown out of proportion. Yeah, maybe it is bad. I'll give you that. But let's have some real damn solutions. And right here, Stephen Greer once briefed Barack Obama on free energy conspiracy theory. But what did Obama do about it? He didn't do anything except tax coal plants and shut more coal plants down. And like he says, you can have a coal plant, but it's going to bankrupt you because all the frickin' regulations that they put on it.
So if somebody wants to build a coal-powered plant, they can. It's just that it will bankrupt them because they're going to be charged a huge sum for all that greenhouse gas that's being emitted.
And it goes on to say that Stephen Greer wants to build a research lab, and since 2000, but he needs 6.3 million to do it. But since 2014, he only has 241,000. I mean, I don't like this begging for money shit. But he also talked about this facility where it's going to have to be under 24-hour surveillance, when they get it out. And it's like, if it's going to take that long, it's like it's already going to have an established spot. And, if people are going to come in and shut you down. Laboratory cannot be open until full amount has been raised. And then again, this article, here we go again with the articles. They immediately slam everything shut. Steven Novella claims to have debunked the entire theory using logical thought on it. Logical thought. What's logical in this world? What's real, as they say in the Matrix? He wrote, if free energy were real, someone would be making it happen. Oh, we only can read about it all the time. Ironically, the very existence of free energy movement proves their own conspiracy theories wrong. Do you see how shut-minded these people are? It's just like, oh, it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's like, give me a fucking break. You see, they file for patent. The problem is people want to make money on this stuff. Yes, and he even wrote that right there. If a company could produce a genuinely free energy machine, they would. And they would become the wealthiest company in the world. Well, you don't realize, too, when you build something and it lasts forever, eventually you're not going to need it anymore. And you'll notice in appliances in your house and stuff, too, they'll have the warranties basically right. Your item will die after that warranty has expired. And that's the way it goes. It's all these appliances don't last as long as they used to. Things break down. They do that so you buy more. Because if everybody's got a fridge and the fridge works indefinitely and nobody needs to buy a fridge anymore, you kind of lose money. And they're kind of seeing that with the iPads drop in sales because people don't renew those iPad cycles like they thought they would, like iPhones. So yes, people have patents. They file a patent to get wealthy off of it, and this happens a lot, but they come in and shut them down. And I agree with him here. Further, free energy would improve everyone's quality of life. No matter who you are, your life would become better with free energy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. We got to bring these systems out. So that's what they do. They poo-poo it again at the end, but there's some good stuff in that article. So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, this stuff exists. I want it to come out. You want it to come out. The whole carbon thing, I can understand where people see it. You know, they get us in this fight with each other. And it's like, let's not fight about taxing ourselves. Let's fight about some solutions. Let's have actual solutions to the problem. Don't frickin' tax me to death. Bring us to a third world country. Bring us back in poverty. The good news is I don't think they're going to be able to hold this stuff back anymore. And then, like I said, it's just going to explode and we can already feel it. And I think something big's probably going to happen this year. And whether a politician brings it out or, you know, somebody else, let's just keep our intention focused, because remember, we're changing parallel realities billions of times a second. And we gotta pick and choose which reality we want to live in.